I love the Fitzpatrick-Leland house. To me, I don't want to pick favorites, but it really is one of my very favorites of Schindler's designs. It was done as a speculative project. It was one of the very first houses in Laurel Canyon. Fitzpatrick, the developer, hired Schindler as a young architect that he knew was also structurally competent, because he wanted to prove that you could build on these sloped sites successfully, and that in fact the slope would create these amazing views, this sort of tiered cascading effect of opening up space even despite the structural complications. And that's exactly what Schindler created. The house feels like a different building from every facade, which is really kind of remarkable, and again something that could only be generated from responding to site and responding to program in a really ad hoc and true way. In my mind, it's one of the works of architecture that feels most like walking into a drawing. When you're looking at the lines of the walls, the placing of the windows, the different height changes and level shifts, you really can feel Schindler's hand kind of leading you through the building. And I think that the fact that it was a speculative project, the fact that it wasn't built for a specific person, to me very much invites interpretation, and it invites the viewer and the person occupying the space to feel welcome, because that's exactly what it was intended to do. So it was intended to make as broad an audience as possible feel like it could be their home. I think it has this generosity as almost a blank canvas, kind of the perfect modernist canvas for design interpretation. Modernism is often thought of as going hand in hand with control, machinery, kind of universal solutions, essentially the opposite of intimacy, the opposite of anything personal or soft. It's these bold statements of, I know the right answer and it applies to everything everywhere, and I will construct it out of glass and steel. But the other thing about modernism that I don't think people understand is that it is about openness. It is about inclusion. It's these deeper tenets of the movement that Schindler really got. And then he combined with that a warmth and a personal handmade aspect, which took the same qualities as what we generally perceive as modernism and brought them in a totally different direction. So there is this flexibility in the Fitzpatrick-Leland house. There is this indoor-outdoor flow. There are these, quiet corners, both inside and outside, intended clearly to encourage, quiet moments or a conversation. But then at the same time, there's this openness. It has that modernist opposition to anything Victorian in feeling or closed or secretive. Like it does have a communal vibe that is also warm as opposed to cold. It's a matter of taking the same philosophies and kind of running them through an entirely different design, material, construction machine, which is what he did. My dream would be that the Fitzpatrick-Leland house is more affordable, is more accessible, and that when you visit, you can see artwork there. You can see a thoughtful installation and program in place at the house that is in keeping, with the original intent that it is a house that's open to interpretation, that it is a house that's open to different types of ownership and reimagining, which was Schindler's assignment in doing it as a speculative project.